CCPL's podcast, The Charleston Time Machine, won the Charleston City Paper's Best of Award for 2019. In today's Meet Your Library, we're taking a closer look at how the popular podcast began.
Welcome to the Charleston Time Machine. I'm Nic Butler.
Charleston County Public Library historian Dr. Nic Butler created the Charleston Time Machine podcast 2.5 years ago.
My experience working in a public library setting has really taught me more than anything else that human beings love stories. And all history is stories, and therefore all good history is good storytelling.
It was developed due to the popularity of his live programs in the library.
I enjoy speaking to the audience. The audience seems to enjoy what I have to say, but then there's always someone who says, when are you going to publish that? Or, my cousin couldn't make it. Are you going to do this program again?
A new episode is released every Friday and touches on a piece of Charleston history you won't find in a textbook.
I try to do things that are unique and intriguing to me. In my research, going through primary source materials, going through old documents, I stumble all the time into stories that amaze me, and I think, wow, this is a really intriguing story. This would make a great novel or screenplay or something, and I can't wait to tell an audience about this. And I've got a storehouse of topics that I'm never going to exhaust.
As you can imagine, each week's podcast preparation research is extensive.
Research is a big part of what I do, and that takes up a lot of time. But I think the audiences appreciate the fact that I can bring new insight, new details to stories that maybe they're familiar with the broad picture, but they're not familiar with the nitty-gritty details that really bring it to life.
That research is condensed into about 20 minutes.
It's basically an 8-page paper with footnotes every week. So I can handle that.
Listening to the Charleston Time Machine is a lot more fun than reading an 8-page research paper, because Nic keeps the information conversational and easy to follow.
As a listener, I know that people want to hear something that sounds like it's being improvised, being created on the spot. Nobody wants to know there's a script behind it. So I'm always conscious of that and try to make it sound like there's a real human being having a conversation with you, whether you're listening to this in your car going to work or walking on the beach or eating breakfast, that make it sound like I'm right there with you.
He says winning Best of Charleston in the podcast category is validation that the community appreciates all the work that goes into the program each week.
I enjoy doing it, and the library is kind enough to allow me to do this and to continue to do this. But winning Best Local Podcast of 2019, that was a real eye-opening kind of experience, because it means to me, wow, there really are people out there who are listening to it.
The Charleston Time Machine is available for free across multiple podcast platforms. Find out more at ccpl.org.
If you haven't listened to the Charleston Time Machine, I really think you might enjoy it. And I've got over 100 episodes out there so far. And if you sample an episode and it's a topic or a time period maybe you're not interested in, my advice is to skip back into the catalog and see if there's something else to your taste.
And if maybe listening to podcasts isn't your thing, Nic also posts the scripts online each week for anyone who wants to read it instead. And I'll see you next Monday to Meet Your Library.